Hey all, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and today I'm joined by Squeaks.
Squeaks!
And we got a bunch of news for you, but we're going to start off with the Audible ad. Let's get this in real quick. Audible is sponsoring the podcast now. The way you guys can support us and support the podcast, first off, review. That's always great. We got like 3 reviews. I'm going to be posting those over Instagram lately.
Nice.
Or soon. But just get a trial to Audible. You click the link in our description, and you could go to our Audible page, or you can go to audibletrial.com// I don't know which way it goes. Geek Freaks, and sign up for Audible. Every trial helps us out, and our book of the month, we're going to be doing a book of the month, and then we're going to discuss it. And so on the 15th, we're going to be recording our discussion on this of next month, will be Shadows Rising by Madeleine Roux. Are you familiar with this book?
Okay. No, very little. You give me all the information of it, but I'm looking forward to it. So I'll be getting it day one.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm excited for this too. It actually comes out on the day the podcast comes out. So guys, make sure you sign up for your Audible trial. With Audible, you get to listen to audiobooks. They have all kinds of original books. They also have, pretty much every Audible book there is. They have some really good audio drama versions and just blatantly read ones. Some Audible books that we're looking forward to doing here is Understanding Comics is a really good one. There's going to be a new reading of The Hobbit done by, why can't I remember his name? It's the guy that plays Gollum.
Andy Serkis.
Thank you. Andy Serkis is reading The Hobbit, so I cannot wait for that one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's some really good Audible books coming up.
It counts how long is the trial?
What's that?
Actually, how long is the trial?
The trial is once a month, and you could, if you sub, it's $15 a month, and then you get a free Audible. You get not a free Audible book with your $15 a month. You get 1 Audible book and 2 originals every month, and for every free trial, you're able to keep that book with you forever. So it just stays in your library. So even if you are done with Audible, you can come back and re-listen to your book or finish it or anything you want to do with that.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. For each chapter of Shadow Rising we get across, we're going to read it, or we're going to kind of review each chapter on social media. We'll tweet a little thing about it or whatever, or on Instagram as well. If you're not familiar with what Shadow Rising is, it's a book that ties into the game World of Warcraft, and it's getting ready for the next expansion, Shadowlands. Here's a quick little thing from the excerpt of the description. It's a real long one in the back. But anyways, the Horde is nothing. With those infamous words, Sylvanas Windrunner betrayed and abandoned the Horde she vowed to serve. When that happened, I mean, we were just stunned, right? For fans, it was like, what? The Dark Lady and her forces now work in the shadows as both the Horde and the Alliance, including her sister, Ilaria, who's becoming a much bigger character, race to uncover her next move. And there's all kinds of things going on both sides. So this is going to really be a political drama book. I cannot wait for that. I love that in World of Warcraft as a political drama. We're going to be having some budding relationships, and we're going to really see what happens and set us up for the social dynamic that's going on in the Horde and the Alliance going into the next expansion. If you're not a World of Warcraft player, totally fine. The books are very well written. This is Madeleine's first time. And normally it's lately it's been Christy Golden, but this is Madeleine's first one. I've looked into some of her other work. She does an excellent job. She's a major World of Warcraft player too, so I love that when they're actually a big WoW player. The reason we chose to do this book is because the stream is going to be transitioning. We're going to be doing beta Shadowland runs, so the stream's going to be moving over to mostly World of Warcraft. Right now we do a lot of Satisfactory, but it's going to be moving into mostly World of Warcraft as we get ready for the new expansion and our beta accesses that we're going to be getting. I'm trying to get all 5 keys so that we could do dungeons together and try out the new stuff. But right now, it's just the one. We'll see how many keys we can get. Help us out, Blizzard. Okay. What have you been watching lately, man?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I picked up a new show on Netflix called Schitt's Creek.
I love that show. Love that show.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Amazing. Oh my gosh.
The mom is my favorite character.
Really? I'm really liking the son. Mm-hmm. I'm really liking him right now because he's totally you don't expect him to do what he does, and I really like it.
Yeah.
Just not a typical character. Something new. That's why I like him so much.
Yeah.
Watching that, watching a lot of anime. Finished up Naruto. Watching a lot of what am I on? Funimation. Just finished Dragon Ball Super not too long ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Kind of keep with anime. Reading a lot of mangas too, actually.
That's always good. I need to get into a good manga. It's been a bit since I've read any of those. Yeah, I think the last one, and my only one really was Alita. So I got to get into
that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. What are you watching?
I've been bouncing around. I'm watching Yellowstone right now. That's mostly a favorite to the parents who've been bugging me to watch Yellowstone. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I need to watch the next Harley Quinn that came out a bit ago, and I need to catch up on that.
I know. I didn't even realize it came out. I
It
was
was
a
so
little. I thought
stealth. Yeah.
right. I saw a trailer and I thought it was more of like a teaser trailer, and
No.
then it
Yeah.
turns out like, oh shit, that was the real thing.
And everybody's
Um.
spoiling the ending too, so I already know what happens at the end. But
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, but I'm excited to see it still.
Yeah, I just canceled my subscription to DC Universe, so I need to watch it right away
Yeah.
before it ends.
What else is there? Let's see. Yeah, mostly those. Boy, that's pretty boring.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched. God, it was so amazing, like life changing. The songs just been stuck in my head. Hamilton on Disney
Oh,
Plus.
yeah, that was super good.
Oh man,
Yeah.
the songs. I'm not going to repeat, and I'm walking around like I'm working in my backyard. I'm like Alexander Hamilton. I keep doing that one spot where
Sarah's actually doing that same thing right now. She keeps listening to the soundtrack.
yeah, it's crazy
Um,
good.
but yeah, super good. At first, I was a little iffy on it
Hmm.
because I felt like this is just a cooler version of a Schoolhouse Rock or something. I was like, okay, it's cool that I'm learning
down for
something,
that.
but I'd rather be in it,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me. But one of the parts had just flipped for me, and I think it was just right before the intermission period, like the halftime.
Yes,
And it was just like beautiful right after that. I was like, oh man, this is good. Like the songs got better to me. Yeah, really good.
that spot where it's like the Revolutionary War and like Lafayette's now
Mhm.
really good at rapping and he's super fast and everything like that. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
that whole part, and then George Washington when he's on the stairs, they're moving the stairs to the side.
Yeah.
Dang, it looks so good.
Washington, I really like his character
So
a
good.
lot. And then I was digging Jefferson's cool because he's that comedic kind of guy.
Yeah.
But Washington was really my one of my characters that I like. But I also like the sisters. Both of them.
Yeah.
One of them felt like the one married to Hamilton felt like
Mhm.
to me was that super elegant Princess Frozen ordeal,
Yeah.
and the other one just had a mixture of everything. When she started rapping in one of her songs and then singing, I was like, oh my gosh, it's really good. Any
Yeah.
characters stand out to you that you like the most?
Washington for sure. I really want to follow that guy's career. He did such a good job. There's even like there's all kinds of like little Easter eggs. We'll discuss it afterwards. I don't want to make this
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
this could easily be a Hamilton podcast at this point because I've been thinking about it so much. But then Davy, I can't remember his full name, but he's the one that plays Thomas Jefferson and Lafayette. He does so good on both roles, and he's the easiest one to see the distinction between the two because Lafayette, he has that accent that feels to me like as an American, really authentic.
Mhm.
And I like how in the beginning of the play he has like broken English, and then by the end when he's the reason that we're winning because he's getting the French to help out, it's like lightning fast, and he's just throwing it out there so fast.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
It was really good.
really good.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get into some news here. We're going to start off with some TV news and then movie news, and we're going to be going into video game news. Fallout series, which I know video game. Fallout series is coming to Amazon. This is coming from the people who make Westworld, which is Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan. They're developing the series. That look, I know, dude. I'm so worried. If it's season 1 Westworld, I'm happy. Season 2 and 3. Oh, season 3 is so awful.
I can't finish it.
It's not worth finishing. And by the end, you're like, this ending is dumb. Everything about it's dumb.
Yeah.
So, their company, Kilter Films, will be working with Amazon Studios and Bethesda's sending some guys over. It's like 2 producers from Bethesda. And they're making this. What kind of series can you see come out of this? Like, what's this going to look like to you?
I really hope we get it from. We have to get it from the beginning, right? Before the nuke. Pretty much how you start off with every game.
Yeah.
Which I'm really gonna hope. I mean, I told you before, I'm a really big fan of that era that we had. What is that, like 50s
The
era? or some
50s,
shit?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love. I love that era.
It's not just the 50s. Remember, they also like are big fans of nuclear weapons back then. So you're gonna have like the 50s, but with like those really.
Okay,
I love that part about Fallout where you have like spaceships and stuff like on everything, missiles on everything.
Yeah, and what I liked too was like it was 50s but futuristic. So you had your little robot maid floating around in your house.
Yeah.
So that's neat. So we have to definitely see that. But then it's just going to be a conflict, obviously, with mutants and the different factions. So I wonder, are we going to be the eyes of someone that's brand new, like the video games?
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess we're going to follow different characters and see what factions are kind of maybe hopefully persuade us to like one more than the other. That'd be kind of neat.
That's a big part of the video games. And you got to kind of like, okay, what's the average TV viewer going to like compared to somebody who's actually a game player? Because as a game player, I would want to be as a new character. That might not go over as well for somebody who's trying to watch the TV shows. Who's they might want established factions that they already know about, and get backstories for everybody in the faction, which we could still get. But, you know, I have in here in the notes, my idea is basically what Walking Dead does, right? Where you're following this character and they're in between factions. They might find one that's really good, but then they're learning dark secrets about that faction. Like, that's the thing with Fallout. Every faction has good and bad about them. Even if they seem like they're, you know, worshiping the light, well, then they could be zealots and they're a problem. So.
And I think you're 100% dead on with how Walking Dead is comparable to Fallout.
Yeah.
With the different factions and then the conflict. While the different factions are having their own conflict. So basically, zombies are going to have mutant animals, freaks, whatever, bugs. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's perfect. Dead on. It'll be just like Walking Dead in a way. Hopefully not, but yeah.
Yeah, and it could be, they could do a thing where, like in Fallout 4, where you're building your own shelter. They could have something like that too. So we'll have to see. Okay, so we have Boston and stuff like that being used, Vegas being used. Is there any city in particular you'd want them to have this set in?
I would like to see a southern type Louisiana. Maybe if kind of give it that swamp environment. If
some New Orleans feel too.
Yeah, kind of like that. Because then we could definitely bring some like mutant gators.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself, I want San Francisco so that you have like Alcatraz could be a faction, and then I love the idea of seeing like the Golden State Bridge with like the moss growing over it and stuff.
Yeah.
You have the big sequoias that make like really cool forest scenes, and you kind of have these big rolling hills, and you know, I don't know. To me, it just feels like a place that has distinct locations that could create different factions. You know, and I don't think San Francisco's been used yet, but I'm not 100% on that one. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but you see San Francisco in a lot of different movies and stuff, but nothing like what it is right now.
Planet of the Apes is one
I don't think so.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, I don't think so. Not in Fallout.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. All right.
I wonder if they will start with something new though.
I hope they do. I don't want them to just go right to Boston or something like that again. Something we've seen recently in the games. Let's try something brand new. Let's see what a creative, a producer or something like that can do with it. You know.
Yeah.
I'll bring different eyes to it. Yeah. Tron 3 is back in development. So, were you a fan of Tron Legacy? Oh, apparently.
Oh my God, yes. I watched that movie. I still watch that movie right now. I love that movie. Sometimes I watch it when I wrap gifts for Christmas. I don't know why. I just do.
That's your Christmas
movie? It's like my Christmas
Tron.
movie.
Mine's Jingle All the Way. Yours is Tron Legacy. It's all good.
It's so off.
Yeah. It's been off and on since 2010, and that's when Tron Legacy came out. I can't believe it's been 10 years since Tron Legacy. That seems nuts to me. Graphically, it's beautiful.
Blink of an eye, we're all gonna be dead. So like, the time is just crazy when you look back on some of these things. Like, I can't believe myself that it's 10 years old.
Yeah,
and
I remember being in the theaters to see it, and it was like such a big deal, and we were just like, oh man, I want a light bike and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's still so good. Yeah, like you said, visually, it still holds.
Yeah. Disney executive Mitchell Lieb revealed it's called the Light the Fuse podcast that the movie's back in development, and this is officially through a Disney executive. This will follow the events of Legacy, because there were original ideas of like taking Legacy out of it, just going off of the original movies and recasting, you know, everybody. But they're actually going to stick with Legacy's storyline, and but instead of the other leads, they're going to use Jared Leto as a lead. Are you worried about Jared Leto coming in for this?
Oh man, I wish you would ask me that question after Morbius came out, but
right,
because I want to see how he does in Morbius. I think the only thing that we really go back on. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I couldn't even finish it, to be honest.
Okay.
Did you watch it all?
No, I didn't. I didn't bother.
I was gonna say, what do you think of his performance in Blade Runner? Instead of comparing to just Joker.
It's a shame, because since Joker, I'm like, burp, I don't care about him anymore. Exactly. And I love him in Dallas Buyers Club. So,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of those things where it's like, he's not a bad actor. It's just you burned me. And I haven't wanted to see your stuff since then. And
dude, he's kind of popping up, you know? Like, so maybe he still has it in him, because with this Morbius movie and then Tron, it's like, man, to me, his name is popping up back to back on big names.
Yeah.
So I have, you know, I'm not shutting him out completely, but if the next movie that comes out with him in it is just trash, then yeah, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah. We'll have to see how Morbius does. Morbius, to me, like you said, is a good one. But I don't know. From the trailers, I'm already thinking Morbius is going to be bad, and which is good. I want to go in with low expectations, because then that means the movie will end up being better. I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, really. I enjoyed the trailer, but with these not superhero movies, but with certain movies, I definitely go with low expectations. So they usually meet those low expectations too. So
Yeah. Uh,
yeah. Um,
they,
have you thought about the side character though at all?
I don't think they're going to use any of the side characters. I wonder if they're either recasting or if they're making a whole new character.
I would love, um, I think because it's Disney and Disney, from my understanding, loves Scarlett Johansson, so I would like to see her as a female side
Ooh.
character, kind of like we had Cora. Is that her name? Cora, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, yeah. She'd be
That's a good
cool
idea.
as because especially with that Ghost in the Shell feel like she had in her movie. I really like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely she could pull off a Tron character for yeah. Two
Yeah,
big
she's
names.
always good. It'd be kind of nice to have some new faces too, like just totally bring somebody up. Like they try to do that with
That's fine.
Legacy,
Yeah,
right? They try the main lead guy. He was only in like
yeah.
Four Brothers before that. But they try to
Oh yeah.
make a whole new character, bring a whole new actor into the field, which is always good to do. But Scarlett Johansson's, she's just gonna sell tickets, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they'll need that. They're trying to bring Daft Punk back for it, which did the original soundtrack and was in the nightclub scene. So they're trying to
Yeah.
bring back some of that old love too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
pretty cool. Jude Law is coming for Captain Hook. Uh, I love the Peter Pan movies. Of course, I love Hook, the Steven Spielberg movie. This is gonna be awesome. What do you think about Jude Law playing as Captain Hook? Do you think he's gonna do good with this?
Um, I don't know, man, because I don't know think of any movies where he's very
Like
animated
Arch?
like Hook,
Yeah, yeah,
you
it's a
know?
tough one.
So it's new for me, but it definitely opens up a door because then we start seeing what actors like I like to call them chameleons, basically what actors can play so many different roles.
Yeah,
So if he could come in and be animated as Hook is, and something new for him, I mean that'd be pretty good for his resume. But
yeah.
I just never seen him in a role that was like that. So I don't know. What do you think? You a little nervous about it? It seems like.
Well, because I love Peter Pan so much, and
Okay.
they're gonna be compared to Dustin Hoffman, so that's really hard. Is everybody's gonna be because we've had other Peter Pan live action movies, none of them touched Hook, so everybody's
Hook,
always
yeah.
compared to Dustin Hoffman, and it's gonna be tough. Like for example, have you seen Pan? It came out a few years ago, probably 10 years ago, if I'm thinking about it.
No, with Hugh Jackman being Hook, right?
Yeah, well, he was actually
Yeah.
Blackbeard. He wasn't Hook, but it was like
Blackbeard.
the story
That's
of
right.
Peter
That's right.
Pan and Hook coming to this world and becoming friends. And then as
Yeah.
time goes on, throughout the movie, you could see that they're eventually going to become villains. Uh, but Hugh Jackman's character was very interesting and fun to watch. They had one musical number that like blew my mind.
Yeah,
It
I think I
was
know what you're talking
weird.
about.
Yeah, it was a weird but good movie. But the problem is it's in the shadow of Hook. It'll never beat Hook. So I wonder if this is gonna have the same
Yeah.
problem. The only thing that benefits this one is it's literally retelling of Disney's Peter Pan, and it's done by Disney. So they kind of have that ability to really pull at the nostalgia strings, unlike anything else. We'll have to
And that's all
see.
we have right now, right? We only have Jude Law.
We have Peter Pan and Wendy both cast. Peter Pan's done by Alexander Milani, who's done The Reluctant Landlord and Claude, both very small films. Wendy is being played by Ever Anderson. She's from Resident Evil Final Chapter. So she seems to be the one that's a little bit more experienced when you look at her IMDb page. We'll have to see. And then the director, David Lowe, he's been attached, or Lowry, sorry, he's been attached since 2016. And he's the one that did Pete's Dragon, which I didn't watch it. I love the original, but I didn't watch the
Yeah.
remake. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Apparently,
How,
it did okay.
yeah. How do you feel about Alexander playing Peter Pan, someone brand new?
I think that's a good idea because you have to have
Yeah.
somebody young, and if they're gonna they might make sequels out of this. I think they're thinking about that. Like, let's make sure we can make sequels out of this if needed. And if you're Peter Pan, you cannot age. It's not a character they can let age. So
True.
you
And I
have to have somebody
wonder
young.
sometimes when you look at Peter Pan, he looks a little older, but it's like, man, someone that young, can you get into it still? If it's that young?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say you can. I'd say I know it's really hard. Like if we go back to Walking Dead, the kid was very young in the beginning, and he already showed some acting chops. You know, it's all about the casting. They have to really do a good job. And the thing with Peter Pan is, everybody it's named after him and everything like that, but really that's not the character that grabs the screen when he's on. You know what I'm saying? When Hook is
Yeah.
on, he's the one that captures your attention. I don't know, just personally. And every time I've watched a Peter Pan, I care way more about Captain Hook than I do about Peter Pan. I'm a villains fan myself,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Very valid because when I think about Peter Pan, I actually don't think about Peter Pan himself. I do think about like Hook or Smee, right? Smee.
yeah.
And then I think about Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
It's like I never really think about Peter Pan.
And I like Tiger Lily a lot, and she's not been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And she's in the actual animated movie, so we might be seeing a Tiger Lily casting.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Which would be awesome. Yeah, I like Tiger Lily a lot. She's a cool character.
Mm.
That whole faction isn't really. I think in Hook they maybe referenced it, but that's not really something that's brought up in any other movie. So to show the whole Native Americans living there, or the native,
I never thought about that, but you don't really see them in Hook, huh?
Yeah, and they actually they have a village in Neverland, like they actually live there. There's a chief and everything like that. Yeah, so it'd be cool to see if they bring that in, and then that's another warring faction that's always fighting the pirates, and works with the Lost Boys sometimes.
Are we gonna see mermaids?
We better see mermaids.
Yeah, I want to see it all. Shit.
Again, during the live Twitch stream or whatever of Hook that would happen a couple months back. Rufio, the guy who played Rufio, Dante Brasco, he was saying that, I got to kiss that mermaid in real life. And, he's like, that was the dream of a 14-year-old me. It's just funny. But yeah, I'm hoping we get the mermaids. They're a big part of the movie. Okay, next up, we have a Ready Player One sequel coming in November. It's gonna be Ready Player 2. Guess what? It'll probably be part of our Audible thing. Ernest Cline is taking us back to the Oasis for Ready Player 2. You can pre-order it now, and starting Wednesday, so that's tomorrow for you guys listening. And I didn't know this, but the first movie apparently was a huge success. It was in 58 countries. I want to say it was like 35 different translations they made for it.
Wow.
The New York Best Times, I thought it was kind of a hidden gem. The book, I thought it was kind of like this thing that nobody knew about, but apparently it was huge. It was on the bestsellers list for 100 weeks.
Dude, I didn't even know about this book until the movie came out.
Right? Yeah, well, same. Unfortunately, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good book though, and with the sequel, what do you want to see out of the sequel? Do you want to follow the same characters?
Well, I want to see. The only reason I want to see, if we do follow the main character, I want to see what changes that he can provide after the corruption kind of went away.
Yeah.
Well, somewhat,
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see if there's any change to it. And then how they use the technology, like how are they using the game now? It can't be happy. There's got to be someone out there because it seemed like it was a happy ending. I didn't think there needed to be a number 2.
There's always going to be a bad guy. There's always going to be somebody like a troll.
Yeah. So that'll So I'm curious, and hopefully that villain is a strong character, kind of like the first one, but not like what you're saying. If it's just some troll or some hacker or DDoS, and
Yeah, I was thinking DDoS
lame. But I'm definitely picking this up because Ready Player One, the movie, I've watched so many times. Oh, it's so amazing. What scene I'm talking about? If I bring it up, the Shining scene. Oh my god.
Yes, this is kind of a big scene too, which is cool. They actually put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah. So definitely, if this is gonna be one of our Audible books, then definitely.
It'll definitely be one of our Audible books. I think it's just a slam dunk for us. So expect that in it'll probably be December's Audible book. Okay, so the first one was definitely 80s nostalgia. Can we see 90s in this one? What do you think about that?
Oh, that'd be kind of neat.
It could be like an expansion pack coming out for. Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be so amazing. Just because I'd resonate with it so much.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if they do the progressive like that. That'd be neat.
Yeah, 2000s they would lose me pretty quick, but I don't know much, maybe Fairly Odd Parents or something like that from 2000s, but in the 90s that's the heyday, and 90s nostalgia is real big right now. People are on top of it. So I think it's an easy one, and you can have Hey Arnold and all that stuff going on.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool. All right, moving on.
That'd be awesome.
Moving on to the next thing. Marvel Comics acquires Alien and Predator franchise. So starting 2021, Marvel Comics will gain control of both of them, including Alien vs. Predator, so they can make all 3 comic series. They were originally part of Dark Horse. They've been there since 1989. I'm expecting some crossovers, especially with the Cosmic Heroes. Is there any kind of crossovers versus anything like that you want to see?
I don't really picture Predator and Alien crossovering into the Marvel universe. If they do, can I see Alien vs. Star Wars?
Oh, that would be nuts. That would be amazing. Yeah.
But that'd be maybe too dark for the Star Wars franchise. I think a lot of it would be too dark. But what I do like is that this is just comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So movie rights are still with whoever.
It's just the comics, yeah.
But I don't be shocked if they're going to buy that soon too.
Well, what? Actually, I think they could eventually do the movies because I think they're all under Fox. That's how they got the comic. They got the comics through that Fox
Okay.
acquisition.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited about this. I really love Alien and Predator. But there's just been a downfall for me because the movies have been shitty lately.
Yeah.
But if I could read a comic book of Alien and Predator, that'd be awesome. I'll definitely pick up the comics, but hopefully see more of it branching out to the movies and maybe even a series on Disney Plus would be kind of neat.
Well, yeah, Disney. That might be a little rough for Disney Plus. I can see it on maybe Hulu, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but man, it's like make a fucking adult section or something. I don't know. It sounds like
I would like to see a hardcore comic that has Iron Man fighting the Predator. I think that would be really cool. You have two guys that have tools.
I think Punisher and Predator for sure.
Oh, that'd be really good. Yeah. Oh man, drop Punisher in the middle of a jungle with a few aliens that are like on the loose, and he's hunting them all down.
They just hella buff like Arnold.
Yeah. Damn. See, there's a lot of opportunity out there. They ended up putting up some fan art, or it was one of their artists that made it. It was Predator and Iron Man, and I'm not sure who was with Alien, but yeah, I think it was Alien on top of like a pile of Avengers skulls or some shit like that. It was pretty crazy. But there is a lot of opportunity out there, and I know Marvel will do good with this. The Marvel editor said, "There's nothing more thrilling than a story that will keep you at the edge of your seat, and Alien and Predator have delivered that time and time again." That's from the Marvel editor-in-chief, C.B. Cebulski, to IGN. It's going to be good. I think they're going to really do good with this. They've done an excellent job with the Star Wars comics, Vader's Castle and stuff like that. It's all been very good. The Kylo Ren series. So I'm excited for that. That'll be really cool. It'll be fun comics to check out.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this will be super successful. Yeah. I'll definitely be reading these. Hopefully that it branches out. But the only reason why I shook my head in the beginning is because Disney I'm surprised they don't own my house right now. So.
Little do you know.
Yeah, right. Oh, shit. He's buying up the world.
It's they own far too many, and I'm really surprised that we don't have monopoly laws kicking in and antitrust laws kicking in and dividing them up a little bit. But until then, it's a tough one. Yeah, it's a tough one to go because I am happy that we have really good MCU movies. It's like one of those things where it's like, we need to break up monopolies, but good job, guys,
Yeah. Do you think, okay, I think this is where it stops. If Marvel bought DC, right? Like that would have to be a no-no.
That seems so nuts to me, but yeah.
But man, think of the movies that'd be coming out for DC that'd actually be good.
It's like sacrilege, dude.
And be good, like 3 of them a year,
If they were to keep them separate, I almost would be okay with it. Like if it was totally separate. But if they were to put Batman and Iron Man together, I'd be upset.
I agree.
Yeah.
I need keep the universe separated.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind them doing what is it called? The amalgamation universe where they actually are combined, where you have Darkclaw. That's the Batman Wolverine hybrid. Those comics are a lot of fun, but they're such a one-off that it's not like it doesn't count, something like that.
Hey, that's a Disney Plus series though, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Kind of like the What Ifs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for What If. That's gonna be good. Okay, we have Xbox announced an Xbox Games Showcase that will be featuring the most anticipated titles, including Halo Infinite. This is a rebranding of their Xbox 2020. So they did that Xbox 2020, I think it was a month or two ago. You remember that, where they were like, a bunch of gameplay footage? It was like, yeah, I guess technically. Yeah, that face right there.
That was horrible.
You're right. So this is going to be more in-depth gameplay footage. And they're trying to rebound from that. And plus, PS5 got so much attention from their June announcement. When PS5 was announced in June, it took away a lot of the steam. So this is going to be on the 23rd, and they're going to put it up on their YouTube channel and Twitch channel, not on their Mixer. It doesn't exist anymore. And what do you want to see? Like, they need to really bring the bank. They got to take the attention, the trending away from PlayStation. How do they do that?
Yeah. You got to show us gameplay of your main title. So definitely, we saw the teaser for Halo, the new Halo, and to me, I'm like, how do you get excited with this? It's literally a fucking screen that just had some voice on it. I'm like, come on, dude, you gotta.
That shows that you're a PlayStation man and I'm a Microsoft fan, because I was just like, yeah,
and that's awesome. But I just need to see more. So this one, they definitely have to bring it this time, and then surprise us too. But you need to surprise us with actual footage as well. Like, okay, so the PlayStation one. You got Miles Morales. I'm like, oh shit, this is badass, right? It's a whole new game.
Yeah.
But we actually got to see a lot of it too. I need that. I need surprises, and I need to see. What it's about too.
Yeah, a full explainer for what, because it's not just Halo 7 or 8, 9, it's actually Halo Infinite. It's a whole new kind of Halo. Explain to us why that is. Is it a live service? It looks like it's going to be a live service with big multiplayer. They just added Fallout 76 to Game Pass, so that shows you that they're willing to have a live service game on Game Pass. Um, what can this do? What can this mean? They need to bring something big. Show us the expansions or the big patches, or an expansion for Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves has been doing very well for them.
Yeah.
If you were to double the size of that ocean, I am on board. Something like that. Because Sea of Thieves is amazing, but I've also memorized all the islands. So something real big.
Do you think that they'll bring a? What I'm expecting to is the stuff that they announced the last conference they had. I want to actually see it now, to
Yeah.
see more of it, like that island game that we saw. That was basically a Sea of Thieves almost.
Yeah.
I would love to see some puzzle solving gameplay of it. It looked like there was some puzzles. Might be. I'm just kind of guessing there might be some in there. But something like that, you know.
That'd be good, yeah. And then more smart delivery stuff. I heard a rumor that they're almost forcing third-party developers. You are going to do smart delivery. They've been pretty aggressive with trying to get them to do that smart delivery system. During yesterday's Ubisoft stream, they announced that we're going to be doing smart delivery. They actually had Phil Spencer on to announce that they're going to be doing smart delivery for Assassin's Creed. So what that means is if you guys buy Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the 360 for the Xbox One, then it'll also be available for your Series X for free. They're kind of bringing that in. So if they were to actually come out with a list of all the third-party titles, then, they got Cyberpunk on board. Show more of those, because that's kind of one of the big selling points. And PlayStation 5, while doing that with a couple titles, has not really been sticking to it as much. They're doing it like Madden, I think, is one of the only titles they're doing that with. And then the next bit of news might lead into it too, which I think is a little bit too soon. On June 26th, Xbox renewed the trademark for Fable. So we had the Fable Twitter account being created with the Microsoft email alongside the Perfect Dark one. And it's been since 2010 since we had a Fable 3 on the 360. So could they tease a Fable during this new Xbox showcase?
Yeah, and unfortunately, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. They're not going to show us anything on Fable. Way too brand new. But if you did, that'd be one shocker that I would have to change my underwear for.
Yeah.
Cause like if you were just like, oh, by the way, we got Fable. Oh, by the way, this is what it's gonna look like,
Yeah.
and I could actually see like even a snippet of behind the character and you running around.
Mhm.
Like, oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're able to choose between light and dark and really kind of develop this character to uh, have your personality and stuff like that. That would be fantastic.
Mhm.
Fable was so good about that. And Xbox needs the big hitter first party titles. And I hate to say it because I love the PC and stuff like that. You got to say something along the lines of like, it'll be on Xbox for 2 months before it's on PC. Something like that. Because right now, between you and I,
Okay.
the big argument is, well, just buy a PS5 and then play all the Xbox games on your PC. Because you and me both have
Yeah,
big gaming computers. Why would we not?
yeah,
There needs
yeah.
to be something a little extra for for the console players. I know that's what
True.
Sammy wants. So
Yeah. He's probably just excited because we mentioned his name on this right now.
he gives you such a hard time.
He does. He does. That's why I have to just kind of bounce back at him.
It's so great. I love it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hangar 13 and 2K announced the Mafia Definitive Edition is being delayed until September 25th. You were looking forward to this one, right?
I am. I am.
Yeah. Uh, so they said Mafia Definitive Edition will now release worldwide September 25th, though we originally planned to release the game earlier on August 28th. Finalizing everything in time for that launch date has become increasingly challenging due to the ongoing global COVID-19 pandemic. The last thing we want to do is compromise the quality of the experience. I like that. I like the fact that they're being real clear that, you know what, it's just we can hit the August date, but it's just not going to look as good. So instead they pushed it back. Being transparent is really important. Uh, they're going to be releasing an extended gameplay trailer on the 22nd. Of course, we'll be putting out all of our socials. I'm excited for this. I have Mafia 3. I haven't touched it yet, but I really wanted to play it. This one looks like it's just such a classic Mafia storyline. We've talked about that in the past, where it's like really following that kind of Godfather style storyline. I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be a really good game.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm not a big fan of Mafia 3. I'm
Yeah.
replaying Mafia 2, the definitive edition right now when they announced the kind of like the whole thing was going to be revamped real quick for this Mafia one.
Mhm.
Um, And that's cool. The reason why I didn't like real quick why I didn't like 3 because I wasn't really in the mafia. I was kind of just helping mafia groups.
Yeah.
But 1 and 2 definitely you're in the mafia, and that's what I really like about it. Looking at the snapshots of this one, it just seems like a whole new game. Like it looks beautiful
Yeah.
compared to what when it originally came out. Um, I'm not shocked that it's delayed. 1 because of the COVID stuff, and 2 you already know my feelings of announcement in video games. They all get delayed.
Right
So
now, yeah, for
like
sure.
I never get excited for. I haven't been excited about a video game coming out in so long. I'm just kind of like, okay, well, I won't watch
When it's
gameplay or
released,
anything.
I
I'll
get
just
it.
see it when I buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Not great for a
Uh,
podcast about video games, but yeah.
right. It's just unfortunate because all
I
these
know.
games always get delayed.
Yeah.
But on top of the COVID thing, yeah, I'm not. I'm not even upset that it's delayed. It's just, I guess, expected.
Yeah, we're washed over. I'm just a big fan of their transparency.
Mhm.
We have something like Cyberpunk. I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk like crazy, and they
Yeah.
keep saying it's delayed for this reason and that reason, but it's just kind of like all vague and stuff like that. I want hard numbers, like let us know what's going on. They just pulled wall running out of the game, out of Cyberpunk. They ended up taking it to where you can't run on walls.
Yeah.
And fans are furious about it, and they didn't really give a good explanation at first. But then all of a sudden, it's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can't do this." All right, see you guys. So they need to be a little bit more transparent, and I like how Mafia is doing that.
Yeah, and there's a. I'm gonna bring up Sammy again. He's so people like him so excited about this game
Hmm.
but you're just riding this game along because they literally keep on screwing you over every time you get excited for it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's gonna get delayed. It's gonna get delayed. It's gonna get delayed. Okay, we're taking this out, but we're not really telling you why. Dude, you guys aren't even fucking done with the game. Let's
yeah,
be real. There's no way that you delayed it this many times and be like, oh, it's almost here. No, because I've been watching the same gameplay or trailers, whatever the fuck you have, for so long. You don't have shit.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, or you're delaying it because you want it to be on the new consoles only. Something. Because we're almost there now with the latest delay.
Just realized that I had your audio down in the stream, so you're quiet the whole time. It's just my side. Anyways, that helps now.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, totally agree with you though, and I know it's a massive game, so there's no reason to lie. We know that's gonna take time to do this. Just tell us that it's taking
Mhm.
time. We'll be happy with it.
Yeah. God, it's been years since they originally announced it. Like, how can you still be? I don't know. To me, I'm not excited for it to come out. Well, okay, I'm ready to play it for sure,
Yeah.
but my excitement can't be this high still. When
Mhm.
you've delayed it so many times, it's impossible for me. So it's like, dude, I don't give a shit. Whenever you release it, I'll play it. But it's just upsetting. I don't know. I'm passionate about how fucking pissed off I am about this delay.
No,
So
yeah, I totally agree with you too.
yeah.
It's just crazy at this point.
Mhm.
We have some clarifications on Kingdoms of Amular. This is the game that I'm super excited for, the Re-Reckoning. We've talked about this in the past, but now we have a release date. It's September 8th. So hopefully that stays. If it does, that week, we're streaming that like crazy. It's going to be $55. It'll be on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. THQ also announced that they have a future expansion for it, which is crazy. So think of it like this. If they announced the remake for Final Fantasy VII, and then they said, by the way, we're going to be adding an expansion to Final Fantasy VII. That's what basically just happened for a lot of the fans of this game. It's a game I never would have thought there'd be an expansion. Expansion is
Yeah, I
called
know.
Fates Sworn. Yeah, Fates Sworn. Coming in 2021. The collector's edition will cost you $110. I might be picking that up. Comes with a keychain, an Aelin statue, artwork, and soundtrack. So it's classic, big, fatty, amazing collector's edition for $110. It's hard because World of Warcraft just announced that they're actually going back to the original big boy collector's editions with the art book and the mouse pad and everything that they used to be put in them.
Gosh.
But then they're like,
Yeah.
by the way, they're $120. Like, what? They were never $120 before. You guys are jerks. All right, how much?
Yeah, but I'll buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 of those. Son of a god. So yeah, so much coming for Kingdoms of Amular. They're really bringing out everything for it. I'm really excited for that. But that's basically it. Coming up September 8th. We will stream that all week long when that comes out. It'll be probably more than that because it's a 200-hour game plus an expansion. Oh my god, it'll be massive. We have Valorant. All right, now you are a Valorant player, right?
I am.
$100 skin came out coming out for Valorant. You gonna be buying this thing?
I can't do it. I can't do it. There's a skin for a gun too that I use a lot. The Vandal. People know what I'm talking about. That play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Even the dragon skin for a gun is $35, and you're just like, fuck, $35 for a gun skin. Like,
Yeah.
ugh. But I don't know, dude. It's a free game. Um, so it makes sense that they're. I don't know. Like, why not? You know? Like, if you're gonna spend money on a game, I mean, I can spend $35 on a game and still be cheaper than buying a whole new game. You know?
Yeah, I understand that. My thing
That's
is
how
I
you look at
don't
it.
want to support it just because I don't want it to become the new norm. Like, this is Riot Game and Tencent Games that are doing this, right? They're big companies.
Mhm.
So if a $100 skin sells well, you know EA's on board. There's going to be a $100 skin in Anthem.
Okay, then will EA start providing free games for us then?
Well,
If I have to
if you
buy
buy
the
a PS2
game and
controller, you
buy
get
a
Anthem for
skin,
free. So,
if I have to buy the game, let's just say the new Star Wars game is free. That's the spaceship
Squad,
one,
yeah,
whatever
Squadrons, yeah.
squad. Let's just say that's free, and they do that. You know, pay to have cosmetic shit. I'm
Mm-hmm.
willing to pay for it. But if you're telling me I gotta buy a $60 game and then you want me to buy a $35 skin for my ship, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe one or two, but
right,
no.
yeah. I don't mind buying skins, especially with a game that I really like. So, like, that I know they put a lot of effort into. A good example is Sea of Thieves. I'll buy the pets on Sea of Thieves just because you guys have been putting out patches without any sort of asking for any kind of money for those patches for a long time now. I'm in. So it's that kind of thing where I'm okay supporting a company doing that. I'm just a little worried about the price point on this thing and the fact that they're still in beta. It's not even a released game yet, and they're already having $100 skin in there. You know,
Yeah. And
what?
you're right though. It definitely depends on the game. Is this a game that I could always go back to? Like Overwatch, I spent a lot of money on.
Yeah, true, same.
And
Yeah,
Sea of Thieves, like yeah, I got the freaking parrots when they first came out. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But Sea of Thieves is always a game too. I go back. I haven't been on for a while, but man, I don't see myself like 5 years from now, like Overwatch, going back to it all the time.
Yeah, that's in League of Legends, also from Riot. I
Yeah.
can't even tell you how much money, but I used to buy every bundle that would come out. I buy the bundles every time.
Hmm.
Once a month they'd come out with a bundle with a new character and two skins purchased. And now I haven't touched that game in probably about 2 years, and it's like, man, can I have that money back? There's like a bunch of characters I don't need skins for because I don't play
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So there's that too, and that's a free game, but I definitely spent more money on that than I did a $60 game that I might have enjoyed more, like Shadow
Yeah.
War or something
Yeah.
like that. So I don't know. The skin does look very cool. It's called Elder Flame. It goes on your gun and your knife and everything. It's dragging actually with like an
Yeah.
actual mind of its own. It's moving around and stuff. Revenue lead Joe Lee explains that this is going to be 4 parts that are 2,475 VPs, which is like their V-Bucks, and for a total of 9,900, which basically is $100. So,
Yeah.
but that's just the beginning. You also need to upgrade the weapons to get what that drives me so crazy is in the trailer they released for this thing. The animations that the dragon is doing is not all coming with the cost of the actual skin. You actually have to upgrade your gun for those animations. So if somebody's like, "Oh, I love the way that there's one part where the dragon like grabs the magazine and then loads it and starts shooting," that part comes when the gun's fully maxed out. So you actually have to either earn it through in-game, skill, battle pass stuff, premium pass, you can get it faster, or you have to just straight up buy it with VP. So you still have to upgrade your gun with Radiant to be able to go any higher than that and get all that full
Yeah.
animation. I just hate that it's in the trailer because then there's some kids that are bugging their parents. The parents are crazy enough to give them the credit card,
Well, it's kind of like a no, I don't want to say false advertisement, but it is kind of shitty when you show like what you can buy, and then you buy, you're like, oh, it's stiff as fuck. Why is it not moving? And you're like, oh, by the way, you need like 10 hours of gameplay to make it reload its own magazine. You're
Yeah,
like, what
or
the
the
hell,
30
bro? Why
bucks
just give you
of VP,
exact?
which is really a shame. They already got you for 100. You're
That's
gonna spend the
yeah,
30.
exactly. Yeah,
Feels
even
shady.
the 30, even if I just bought one skin for a gun, it's $35. I want all that you have to offer for that gun.
Yeah,
Like, I just spent $35 for just a weapon skin that I you don't even use that weapon every single round. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I don't know. Kind of shitty.
For my $100, I'm buying your development time, and if your development time is going into stuff I have to continue to play for, no, I'm spending $100. I want 100% of the development time. It's just
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
just crazy, and that's one of those things that bugs me is the fact that it's in beta. So really, your developer should not be working on skins, or it's just the same thing when Call of Duty's like, oh yeah, before the game releases, we already have the next DLC ready to announce. Baloney. It's not developed yet. Finish the game and put it out, then work on the DLC.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm anxious to buy the first game, and you're already working on the next part. No, the game's not ready yet because it's not released. So the same thing with this. If you guys are making skins for a game that's not released yet, take your developers, put them on the game, finishing the game, and get it out for release. So we don't have it in beta forever. Because when it's in beta and something goes wrong, then it's like, well, it's just in beta, it's fine. No, you need to be standing behind your game and put it out for full release. Balance everything out and get
Yeah.
it done.
Yeah.
All right.
Agree.
Sony buys stakes in Epic Games. This could mean anything. This is pretty crazy. So Sony just invested $250 million. It's quite a bit. I just want $1 million. I'm fine.
Oh my god, it's just
for
$500,000, please.
for Epic Games, Sony's take has not been revealed yet. But for an example, Tencent received 40% stake for a $330 million investment in 2012. So I'm guessing it's going to be around a 30%, 35% stake in the company. Epic is trying to raise $750 million for an unknown project. Rumors are, and my thoughts, that it's going to be the Epic Games Store. They're trying to bolster that Epic Games Store to really kind of shut Steam down. They've been doing very well by giving away free games on Thursday and stuff like that, which, by the way, follow us on social media. Always share those. And Sony's part, they wanted to invest to get closer to Epic Games' Unreal Engine 5, which with PS5, the Unreal Engine 5, they work really well together. And they want to do some collaborations on Fortnite. So some Sony exclusive characters. Maybe you got Crash Bandicoot, not Sony exclusive anymore, huh? Whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Maybe he'll pop up in
Yeah.
Fortnite and stuff like that. Well, that's, it benefits both of them with those skin sales. What do you think this means for Sony?
What this means for Sony is it feels like a race of like when you, Geek Freaks, announced it first was Xbox wanting to buy WB. Are we going to see more of these like huge companies of Sony and Microsoft buying these actual huge developers? I think we might see some exclusives. Okay, cool, whatever. That's only on Sony, but definitely like what you nailed it with the Fortnite thing. Fortnite has millions of players, and you're going to persuade some to switch over or at least have a PSN account to get a specific skin. Just like when Samsung, if you bought I think it was a Note 9 at the time, you were getting an exclusive Galaxy skin for that game. So I can see it definitely persuade that way. But I think mostly, hopefully, like what you're saying with the Unreal Engine 5, that they could bring like the PS5 to really truly show you what next level they are, and what it's capable of to persuade others. Maybe this thing where what Epic already has, like with the Fortnite, the show why is it better on PS5 in a way or something.
Yeah.
But hopefully new technology is what I'm looking forward to. With the exclusives. So kind of like what was that trailer we had where the girl was running in the mountains? That beautiful trailer. And
That's for Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah. Hopefully some more stuff like that, man. Just something to really show you, like, oh, we're definitely in the next generation.
They developed that trailer with Sony, by the way. They announced that in the beginning.
Oh.
It actually was with PlayStation that they developed that trailer with them.
Okay.
So that shows that they've been working together for a bit now. Yeah,
Okay.
the way I look at this, it reminds me of when Microsoft went out and bought Minecraft. It was Minecraft at the time also was like Fortnite, where it was just this game that everybody in the world was playing, and so you had this massive game, and the company bought out, but it was still on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation. It's just that the funding went to Microsoft. This kind of feels a little bit like that. Like, it's not like Fortnite's going to leave Xbox. It's just when you buy some V-Bucks, some of that's going to go to the PlayStation. So I hope they do well with it. I'm excited to see what kind of crossovers we get with Fortnite. That's kind of the big one to me. Unreal Engine 5 is going to be amazing, but it's going to be on everything. That's going to be used by a lot of people. Fortnite itself, they already said, is going to be upgraded with Unreal Engine 5 as soon as it's available. So the kind of crossovers, I would like to see some of those exclusive PlayStation characters in Fortnite. That's just such a good way to make money. And the announcement trailers, I wouldn't mind seeing teasers and stuff like that for future PlayStation games being revealed in Fortnite, like they did the Star Wars and stuff like that.
Oh man, just like the concerts they have too. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Exclusive characters though, man. Yeah, because you could definitely think of if you have Kratos walking around. Just the M16, or even I can't think of her name right now, but the girl from Horizon. I can't think of her name.
I can't think of her name either.
Yeah, but even like people like her, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. And then you could have we got the Miles Morales game coming out, so you can get the Miles Morales skin and a teaser for Miles Morales.
Captain America and Deadpool. There's been multiple Marvel skins already. For Fortnite,
it's perfect synergy. Yeah. And what's funny is I'm pretty sure. I wonder if they haven't done Spider-Man in Fortnite yet because of the MCU not owning 100% Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so can they do Spider-Man Miles Morales if it's from the PS4 crossover? Because that version of Spider-Man, is that legal, you know?
I would assume so, because it's
To,
like you wouldn't be getting the MCU version of Spider-Man. You'd be getting a,
yeah, yeah,
you know, yeah. So I bet they could. That's going to be neat
mhm.
to see, man.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
This opens up a lot of opportunities. It just shows what kind of juggernaut Fortnite is, and Epic in general. Epic's always been a very interesting company. It's one of the few video game companies that I would say put money in it. They're going
Hmm.
places. They're secure. It's pretty amazing. So that's the way to go. Okay, on Saturday, fake out. On Sunday, we had the Ubisoft Forward, which was their live stream event. Did you get a chance to check any of this out?
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, just because there's a lot of going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched like the race car one, like the FF, I call it Formula One racing.
Right.
No, that's what I call that game that. But obviously there's a F1 racing.
So you invented that name
Uh,
all yourself? That's pretty good.
I just thought of it right now, man.
It's amazing.
Trademark it real quick.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool, but the only downfall, like just real quick little my opinion of it is that I'm not a very creative person.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm playing Disney Infinity back in the days, RIP to that. I wish it'd come back.
Yeah.
I never played like the sandbox stuff because I'm not creative, you know?
Yeah. We're different in that
Uh,
way. I love the
yeah.
sandbox stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you and the Satisfactory and Minecraft. Oh my
Mm.
god, like I look at the stuff you make and I'm just like, how the fuck do you even do that? Um, that and I think obviously the big one I know we'll probably get into it is Far Cry.
Oh man.
Yes,
God, that looks so
yes,
good. I watched the
yeah,
trailer multiple times like it's a new TV show I'm a big fan of.
hmm
Oh,
hmm
it's so good.
yeah,
So, my big complaint with the way they did this stream is they would dedicate, because it's just not a lot of games. And I like the Ubisoft company. They didn't talk about any allegations. They actually tweeted that out about an hour before the thing started. They wouldn't talk about any of the allegations they're going with right now. And neither will we until we have the full picture, because currently they're all in an investigation. But yeah, so there was that. That was kind of hanging over everything. But each game, they gave like 15 minutes or more talking about it, showing like, here's the trailer, here's some gameplay, here's the developers. We're here for the announcements. Show us the big Far Cry
yeah.
6 trailer so we can get going with the rest of our day. They kind of held off on that. So they started off with Watchdog Legion. Have you played any of the previous Watchdog games?
I have. I played the first one. I really enjoyed it, but it took me like 3 times to actually finish it, just because I find myself falling off of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Watch Dogs 2 because I wasn't so I don't know, excited about number one. I never played number two. Never even cared to even touch it. I know Ubisoft is streaming. If you could watch 1 minute of it, you get Watch Dogs 2. That's how much I didn't care
Yeah.
because I didn't even get on to watch it.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about the Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
Legion looks pretty cool though, but
I know, right?
it's still. What's the gameplay? Is it still the same? I don't know. I don't.
It
It's
feels
just a different game to me,
yeah,
and
it
I'm
feels
not
more
really
actiony.
into it.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It definitely looks better than the original two Watch Dogs. I'm a big fan of the building up your
Yeah, it
army kind of
does.
thing too, because then you have like, oh,
Hmm.
this one's really good at hacking, and this one's really good at just a brute force, and so you kind of send them out on different missions. I really like that idea, and each character's
Yeah.
going to play different. They showed a
Hmm.
construction worker character that you'd have that has, first off, a big pipe wrench that he's like knocking some guy out with, was cool. But then you
Hmm.
also have access to this construction drone that he's able to use to ride up on the top of the roof, which is something that maybe the other guys wouldn't have. I like that idea of building up an army doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
I just don't know about Far Cry.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
not
gonna
sorry, Far Cry. Watch Dogs. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so on the Far Cry because
I
just
know.
the trailer was amazing. That's all I'm
It was
thinking about
amazing.
right
Yeah,
now.
no. Yeah. So we had the new trailer. We actually had a short film for Watch Dogs, and then we had Choose Your Hero, and then anyway, so the release date's going to be October 29th. It's also coming out with smart delivery, so that was also something that Phil Spencer said. So we have that coming. Next, we have Brawlhalla. They announced it's coming to Android and iOS on August 6th. Brawlhalla is a lot of fun. If you guys
It
want
is.
something that's almost easier but a really fun version of Smash Brothers, it's kind of like that. It's all 2D with sprites. It's really cool.
Yeah, I had a blast with it. Um, I was playing it on Xbox for a little while, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
I could super get into it. The character's really neat, especially because they have like these special crossover characters. Like Laura Croft was in it.
Yeah.
It's a fun game for sure.
Yeah. Finn
Yeah.
and Jake from Adventure Times are in there. Adventure Time.
Yeah, that's right.
Tom Clancy's Elite Squad was announced. It looks like it's going to be a mobile game, and it's some sort of team builder where you get to use everybody from the Tom Clancy universe. They had the guy from Wildlands, he's the bad guy. I was excited to see him, like, what, he's back, it's crazy. And then Sam Fisher breaks him out, which is really nuts because then you're like, wait, Sam, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty interesting to see. I was hoping that they would announce a new Splinter Cell, a new Sam Fisher game, but nothing. That was pretty nuts. They showed off their
Yeah,
new.
they did. Huh? I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
why not,
Yeah.
right? They showed off their new battle royale. It's called Hyperscape. They're currently streaming it now. They're doing the same thing they did with Valorant, where if you watch, you get the beta access, yada yada yada. This looks like they're using like the Ready Player One format, where you go into a world like the Oasis, and you fight it out. And what do you think about this? There's different like hacks, little abilities you get mid game that'll give you the ability to jump higher and stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
The only thought I really have is that you're You're trying to come up with your own idea, like what you just mentioned that it's comparable to. So, I mean, that's cool. Bring something new to it. I mean, I'm down for it to see what it's
Yeah.
like. I know some people might be different or iffy about it for the fact that you're changing something that they might already be used to.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with change, to be honest. But if it's horrible, then it sucks, and you can't get over it, then yeah, it'd be nice to somehow rework it.
Yeah, they're in the beta right now. I do like the idea of a battle royale in a city because a lot of the battle royales are these big sprawling lands where you've got to find each other. This being in the city kind of makes it to where it feels like you're gonna come across each other quicker. That's pretty cool. One of the big features they're toting is that the audience is gonna be able to enjoy the game. So say I'm streaming this game, there's gonna be a thing that'll pop up, and everybody who happens to be in that match that is also streaming that game, if you're watching their stream, a thing will pop up where the fans can vote what effect will happen on the battlefield. So they were showing like
Shit, that's
less
cool.
gravity, and I've been checking this out, watching this. It is pretty neat. Where you vote less gravity, and if less gravity wins, then all of a sudden everybody's floating a little bit and stuff like that.
That's
Or
pretty neat.
when bombs drop, you click bombs drop, and then if enough Twitch viewers click bombs drop in the game, bombs will start to drop. So there's that
That's pretty neat.
connection between. I like that idea. Can you think of? I know this is kind of out of nowhere. Can you think of any other games that can include that? I'll throw one in while you think. For World of Warcraft, we have dungeons that have affixes where bosses will heal themselves or whatever. It'd be cool to add a random affix for 1 minute where, hey, you know, right now everybody's losing aggro, or hey, all of a sudden new ads will come out and attack you guys. That'd be a really fun way to kind of interact with things. It can mess people up, but it could be I don't know. It's just a lot of fun to toy around with it. Battlegrounds could definitely use it.
Yeah, that's really neat. I'll stick with the esports kind of like thing that you did. And I don't want to stick with. I mean, Blizzard's always on top of my mind because we went to BlizzCon, so I'm always consistently thinking of that.
Yeah,
But it'd be cool if they even did it for like a StarCraft. Like, hey, at this moment right now, we're gonna. You want like so many different Zergs to pop out of the ground and attack each base.
Yeah,
that'd be neat to see as an esports trait.
yeah,
Kind of mix it up for to see like, okay, so say if you're building a base for sure, is your defense well enough to survive fan votes, and of course if you're being attacked at the same time.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah, you could it's Zergling attack, random building catches on fire, or something like that, or 5 free medics, something like that. This kind of, medics aren't like really gonna hurt or help it too much, but it's like, oh hey, sweet, instead of getting attacked by Zerg, I got 5 free medics, stuff like that. So it's kind of up in the air. It's a neat idea. I do actually hope it's something that gets carried over, even if I think Hyperscape's gonna fail. Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. Next, we had a whole bunch of Assassin's Creed. So a couple of things we've learned. There's going to be raiding where you can just roll up on your ship with your crew and say you want to raid this village. You just raid them, and then you could have them join your team and stuff like that. You can end up adding quite a bit to your own thing. You're building your own settlement. So that's one of the things you're going to be doing with your raiding, is getting supplies for your settlement. So you're going to have this town that's constantly changing, evolving, and growing with you to have more features that'll help you in the future. You can create allies with other English kings and lords, and with other Vikings, to create a big faction that can eventually overthrow other kings. They showed, I forget his name, but they showed like one king in particular, like he gets captured, so you want to free him, and then you want to put him over here and stuff like that. So there's that kind of relationship building that's going to be going on. You can dual wield any weapon in the game, including 2 shields. So I'm going to be using 2 shields. Yeah, that look on your face, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's me bashing people with shields.
They showed her put 2 shields out, like spin in a circle, and then they showed her like put 2 shields in front of her and just like ram forward. It looked pretty dope. Yeah. And you're also going to be able to have fortress raids. So you're actually going to be able to attack fortresses and have multiple tiers of the fortress that you got to get through to like then capture the fortress and have that area. A lot of fun things I think they're taking from other games that are similar to this. Batman Arkham Asylum, that whole Batman Arkham series has got a lot of this. The combat looks like it's more Arkham. Again, we talked about this before, but Shadow of War, that kind of thing. It looks amazing. It's all coming November 17th. We definitely have more gameplay footage we've had in the past. It definitely needs more polish. It's not quite polished enough, I can tell. I'm excited for this, though. Are you picking this thing up?
Oh, 100%. And I'm super excited that it's in the Viking world. Mm-hmm. But the only thing that worries me, because we talk about the raids and talk about putting kings and all this stuff, is it going to be as huge as Odyssey was? Odyssey, once you get to a certain point in Odyssey, it opens up this whole like map of all these cultists that you need to kill. I mean, you don't have to. You kind of get away, but I mean, you kind of want to. It's just like, oh my gosh, is this game too big?
It might be.
And a lot of people might be like, oh yeah, well, whatever. We like big games, we get our money's worth. Yeah, but sometimes I don't have 120 hours to put on a game, you know? Not every game. So is this going to become what Odyssey was? And that's my fear. Like, I don't want to... yeah, I just don't want to do that. And then plus there's a lot of... Yeah.
There's a lot of players that do want that. Like for me, for example, I like to like avoid sleep and play throughout the night.
Yeah.
That's bad, but it's a selling point to me. Yeah.
And to me, you know, I get distracted too much, so it's hard for me to stick with one game for so long.
Sure.
But also another thing too, because when you look at the gameplay, it looks like a lot of villages and types and stuff. So it's like, are we going to get into any parts? How much of like the rating of the towns that we're going to have actual buildings? Because I miss the days where it was like you're climbing on buildings and running on roofs. I'm a big fan of Syndicate, Assassin's Creed, because you do a lot of that. It's all buildings.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I miss a lot about Assassin's Creed. Also, I need to see more if I want to actually feel like I'm in the Creed. I was kind of getting over Odyssey and Origins. Because Origins, obviously, I get it. At the very end, you start the Creed. Okay, cool, whatever. But I didn't want to do Odyssey where we went backwards, and I'm still not in the Creed. I miss the days where you're Altair or Ezio, and you actually feel like you're in this game.
100% agree.
So I need to see some of that, too. Since this is after Origins and Odyssey, I better be in a Creed.
Yeah. And during the live stream, one thing I kept bringing up is like, I'm not seeing stealth kills. There are like no, they showed a small pit eventually of like, oh yeah, you build the stealth around in towns. I miss Ezio is a great example, but you know, even in Unity, one of the worst games that they've ever made, you're still running along the rooftops and jumping down and killing people. And I think they're like, oh, Black Flag did really well, but it didn't have a lot of it. But Black Flag still had like Havana and stuff like that you were in that had these stealth kills. Bring those back, you know?
Yeah.
It's really tough because it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed, and I want to play an old Assassin's Creed game. Can we get 2 different franchises or something out of this? Because these feel a lot closer to like an Arkham game, where you're just pushing forward with an army or with brute force, and you're like, yeah, you're doing stealth kills, but you don't need to. Even during the boss fight they showed during the stream, they're like, oh yeah, we're going brute force, but we could have came in here and stealth it and we would have had a big crit. No, stealth kill is you come from the top, you put that knife down to the ground, and you finish the guy. That's a stealth kill. That's what it used to be, you know?
Yeah, and they've done that before where it's like you got to upgrade your stealth kill so you can just one-shot them from, say, up in a building, jumping down. But yeah, when I play Assassin's Creed, I want to feel like an assassin. So can I use brute force? That's awesome that it's always an option. But also, when you're raiding, I want to see my army do the fighting under me while I'm climbing buildings and jumping around.
Almost distracted.
And then I could jump with them. I want to fall, while being distracted, I want to jump off a roof, kill someone, do a couple kills brute force, and then start hiding around again.
Yes.
That's what I want.
That's the best.
But this game with the gameplay, it just totally 100% feel like it's a brutal game. Mm-hmm. But they took the assassins away from it, the assassin feel. So we'll see.
This looks like it's going to be a great game, but I feel like they almost should make a new IP for it, because it just does not feel like an Assassin's Creed at all. Something about the old Assassin's Creed too, you feel like sleeker, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I used to love the animation. It was such a minor thing, but I used to love the animation where you would be walking amongst people and you'd see like them dip the shoulder back and kind of like blend in. I cannot see these assassins doing that. They would knock people over. instead of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sleekly going between them all. I don't know.
Well, because they lost that now. They don't do that anymore. Odyssey, there's no group of people walking around where I could just hide or just like sit on a bench or something,
Right? Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
incognito. That they don't even have that anymore. So it's just maybe Tales of the Assassin, but yeah, they could do like a separate IP for games like that. I
Yeah.
want to be back in the Creed. So
Exactly. Back in the
yeah,
Creed, fighting the Templar. It was such a good
yeah,
story. Let's get back to
yeah,
it. Let's get
yeah,
into big sprawling cities too. I like the size of these cities.
yeah.
All right, last up, and the most exciting announcement to me coming out February 18th. We have Far Cry 6. We had a huge, beautiful trailer for this thing. I can never remember his name, and now it's messing me up. Hold on, I have it here in the notes.
Yeah, what is that?
Giancarlo Esposito. That's the last time I'm gonna say it
That's
because it's
yeah,
hard to say.
hard to
From
remember.
Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian. He's the main bad guy, and man, how good does he look? What do you think, man?
Oh man, is this expected in-game cinematics?
Yeah,
It's coming out for the new
we also
systems,
saw cinematics.
so
So yeah,
yeah. So if this is like that, I don't know. Yeah, it needs to be in-game, but definitely overall, like the trailer for sure looks amazing with the technology that we have right now.
yeah,
Um, but I need to see that in the game too, though.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it looks great. The whole trailer was on edge, especially with the little kid holding the grenade. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
don't trip.
and then when he turned the grenade and you saw that it's actually his dad's name on
Uh-huh.
there, like somebody tried to
Uh-huh.
bomb him, the dad.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so cool.
And man.
Um,
Super excited for it. I like how where we're going. Definitely for sure because the last ones we have were kind of like in the jungle or some shit. Except for 5, but we had 3 was kind of like that way. We had like the Himalaya mountain ones.
I love number
With
4
number
was so
4,
good to me. I still have to finish 5, but 4
yeah.
was so good. I'm really this one's supposed to have a lot of jungle as well, from my understanding.
Okay, so but I'm hoping we stay in the town, in
I'm
the
sure we will at
where
some
everyone
point,
was
but
riding.
there is a lot of jungle fighting because so that's one of the problems with the trailer, which there's not a lot, but there is one. We never see the protagonist. Uh, we're not playing as the kid
Yeah.
or Giancarlo. We're playing as a character named Danny Rojas, who is a guerrilla fighter in the middle of the revolution. So we don't actually see our character ever. We only see the bad guys. And as if you're playing as a guerrilla fighter, you're going to be in the jungle for the most part, and then coming in to raid the city in the towns.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I thought that was different because for a second I was like, is the kid going to think this is wrong and that's who we're playing as? Because I can't picture a little ass kid with the weapons that a Far
Yeah.
Cry game usually has, right? So, but I think that's kind of cool that we don't see it because you don't see the protagonist a lot in these games.
Because the
Um,
bad guys are so amazing. Far
oh
Cry's bad
yeah,
guys are
oh
always excellent.
definitely movie quality. Like every Far Cry. When I
Yeah.
played Far Cry 3, it was my first Far Cry I ever played. I was just, what? Why isn't this a movie? This is
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, it's all about bad guys. So I can see that now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it kind of reminds me of like Negan. We're talking about Walking Dead again here. That Negan was like this character that it's the Negan show now. Once
Yeah,
Negan came out, it's the Negan show. And that's how every Far Cry villain is. It's always like, oh yeah, that's the one that's like this crazy dude from Tibet that's controlling people and stuff like that. Like the bad guys is what steals the show. And this might be the most show stealer we have with this one here. And I'm interested in the relationship between him and his son because is the son going to betray him? The son's so young that I think we might get a sequel to this game or an expansion to this game where the son takes over.
Kind of like what they did with 5 and New Dawn.
New Dawn, yeah. Which, by the way,
New Dawn.
was free during the stream too. If you could watch the stream, you could have got New Dawn for free.
Should have done that one at least then.
Yeah, and Division 2. There was a lot of games there. They kept like flashing
Yeah.
up codes to enter into your Uplay.
Yeah.
And to get them
I
free.
think I would like to have a conversation of what we can expect new, but Ubisoft, when we talked about it before, sticks with the same formula. And every Far Cry does feel the same. Even though
Yeah.
I enjoy it and that's fine, but how many Far Cries can I keep playing? That's just gonna be the same thing over and over again. So I
Yeah.
really can't even know if they do anything new, to be honest, because I think it might just be the same thing over again.
They announced in 2018, maybe 2019, that they were going to be changing that formula. Like they're not going to
Yeah, I
always
remember
do the
talking
same.
about it. Yeah.
But when you think of like production time for a game, these games have been developed way before then. So I doubt that these games are going to change the formula. I think they'll be the same, and then eventually we'll get a new formula.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. Okay, so that was everything for that. Last thing we want to do is we're gonna sit here. We're gonna have a fan poll, guys. So on Twitter, I'm gonna figure out how to do it on Instagram. I'm learning Instagram, folks, so that's why our Instagram game's getting slightly better. So we're gonna have a fan poll. You guys are gonna choose what system I buy first. if Lockhart comes out, I'll probably buy both. But I think this is the first time in a long time where I know I'm going to buy both systems, just because they're both amazing, right? They're both really good systems.
Yeah.
But you always buy that first one. You always buy the first one. And so this is the first time where I can go either way. So we're going to let the fans pick it. Which one do we go? PS5 or Xbox Series X? You're going to be trying to pitch the PS5. I'm going to try to pitch the Series X. And then we'll put the poll up on Twitter and probably Instagram. So let's start with you. What's your overall pitch for the PS5?
Probably the same thing that everybody talks about is exclusives. I think that what we've shown off of how fast these SSDs can be with definitely the Ratchet and Clank trailer.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Until Xbox, what do you have? What do you have exclusive? You got Halo, you got Gears of War. Okay, cool. That's all you got. Thanks a lot. But I'm not gonna spend this much money for 2 games. So what I'm giving you, damn, I've done it before with the X. Sales pitching it. I'm gonna give you Spider-Man. I'm gonna give you this Ratchet and Clank that looks amazing with all these different worlds that can load super fast with the new technology that the PS5 didn't have. I'm giving you fucking this controller with the adapted feel, hopefully with the triggerers, and I'm really excited for something new. So I'm giving you something that literally does feel like the next step into the next generation. Okay, even visually. Okay. I'm this box,
how the actual console.
At least
looks.
I can make it look pretty, right? At least
okay.
I'm going everywhere with this right now.
No, I know. Yeah.
So I think with the PS5, you're actually taking the next step into the next generation. With Sony doing its collabo with Epic Games and giving you more, if this happens, prediction, more Unreal Engine 5 games, then shit. It's just more that Sony is grasping so much to keep more exclusives and exclusivity, maybe items like we talked about with Fortnite, in the Sony area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my quick pitch.
Okay.
The PS5.
So PlayStation is a great step into the next generation of gaming. The problem is it's just the first step. When Xbox is planned for the next couple. So it's raw power that's in the Xbox, that processor, the giant graphics card and stuff like that. They're already the next step in and more. They're going to give you, so the big selling pitch to the PlayStation, where it has the Xbox in hard drive alone, is that the storage. Yeah, so it has the twice as fast SSD, right? But Xbox is giving you the option to upgrade to essentially no, it's Seagate only, but they're going to give you the Seagate upgrade. You can upgrade your hard drive in the future, and you can get a faster one if you want. It just has to be Seagate brand. So they're giving you those options. It has this monster processor, the 8-core AMD Ryzen. Again, it's using the AMD Navi graphics. It's huge. The video memory alone is this monster thing. I just feel like it has a 1 terabyte hard drive. So you're not going to be filling it up. You're over there with an 800 plus hard drive. I'm sitting here at a 1 terabyte. Plus mine can be any Seagate that goes into it. And 8K resolution. That 8K resolution means that which by the way, it's not when 4K becomes old school and nobody wants it anymore, everybody's going to be going off of that 8K. I'm ready for it. My resolution's already able to go to 8K. That 120 frames per second, it's got everything you want. Ray tracing on this thing is going to be a beaut, which is on both systems. It's on both systems. And console streaming. Xbox's console streaming is using the Azure cloud system. It's unprecedented. It's going to be better than Stadia, I'm predicting. And so that's the future of gaming. It's not, yes, the hard drive on the PlayStation is impressive. The exclusive on the PlayStation is impressive, although Xbox is making some big steps to try to take that away. I have a feeling that hardware alone, the Xbox is a bigger step forward than the PlayStation. It just is.
I like that argument. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're pitching a lot of what it can do, but then we also have to think, okay, what are the developers, are they actually going to do? What the systems can do?
Yeah.
And that's the thing we'll never know until it happens. When it happens, hopefully. Yeah. So.
Well, one big thing that I want to pitch, and it might be something that people say like, well, yeah, but I don't really use it. Backwards compatibility. So let's look at the PlayStation backwards compatibility. If it considered I even have one, it's the top 100. Okay. Hold on, I almost said that wrong. It's most top 100 PS4 titles that'll be all available on the PS5. The Xbox, it's 360 and Xbox original games and Xbox One games. They're all going to be supported over there. So you want to play that first Crackdown? Go for it. You want to play Halo 3, classic Halo 3? Boom, you got it. Everything you want from the original systems is available on the Xbox One with upgraded graphics. And anything on the Xbox One is going to be smart delivery. You're going to be able to get that for free on the Xbox at that proper graphics over there. We also have a better subscription program. Game Pass, dude. Sony needs to come out with a Game Pass. Why don't they have one yet?
Game Pass is legit, I'll give you that. But you can't even name 100 games that will be backwards compatible with Xbox. You won't even play 100 games. So why does it matter? If I want to get the best 100 games for PS5, PS4 to PS5, that's probably all I want to play.
Yeah, but what do you... Listen, I will definitely buy a PS5 first if they said that they could do backwards compatibility with PS2. For some reason, they're not. PS2 is the best PlayStation system to ever come out. And for some reason, they're not touching it. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. The original Xbox system, when you had Juiced as one of the best racers ever made, you had
but how
Halo
many games
2.
are we missing out? How many games are you missing out? Okay, yeah, I would like to play NBA Street and NFL Street. I'm just on top of my head. The Bouncer.
The original Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
Yeah, I have those. Yeah. Multiple copies of them. But are a lot of people willing to go backwards that far when we have the newest stuff right now? Like, it's cool to like pick it up real quick, whatever.
That's true.
But I don't see myself playing all these PS2 games.
I think there's gonna be that nostalgia itch. It's not gonna be like I'm actually really excited for playing something old.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Both systems are amazing. I will give you that. That hard drive in the PS5. If Xbox were to grab that, it would be done.
But then Xbox with looking like 8 steps in the future instead of just current right now, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
With the 8K for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That just means I need to buy a new TV.
Right. And
again.
Yeah, I just bought a TV for the new systems, and then I'm just like, 8K, son of a bitch. Oh no.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I want to see how much it upgrades the old games, because if it could really I keep thinking Crackdown 1, it's such a perfect game. If they could really upgrade that bad boy, because by the way, Crackdown 3 does not look any better than Crackdown 1 in my opinion. It does not look great. So if they were to actually take that and really upgrade it, like actually make it look like a Series X game, oh man, that'd be a selling point to me. And then the Lockhart's supposed to be announced. I think they said in August. And if it is announced, it's all rumor stuff right now. But if Lockhart's announced in August, that's gonna steal the show from. There's no way PlayStation can do it. They might announce at the end of this month. Because the rumored and leaked price points has the Lockhart at $200 for an Xbox Series X. That's so cheap.
Oh.
Yeah. It has it at $200 and they have the Series X at $400. They have the PlayStations at $550 and $600. I really think this next generation might be going to Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. To me, it still just depends what they're putting on there. Like, you give me all this system shit. Okay, cool. What am I going to play?
I'll give you that. The exclusives on PlayStation
Fable.
wins.
They have to pull Fable. They have to. I mean, if they get this deal with WB,
oh my god,
holy shit! Then I might have to buy an Xbox.
They're working on a Harry Potter RPG right now, dude. Did I tell you that?
We talked about that before. And, fuck, if that's an exclusive, I'm buying the system.
Exactly.
Yeah. But if they could do that, if we could get a Harry Potter RPG, you get Batman, you get the Lord of the Rings stuff, and it's like, that's a lot of games that I won't be able to play.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just 1 or 2 anymore, But they have to do that. They have to do that to keep up.
Yeah. We'll have to see. We have I think it's the 27th of this month, we're going to be getting an Xbox event. So if they announce something with WB Games, that it's huge. Locked in.
Yeah.
That'd be huge. And I bet they'll announce the Lockhart, which the mocked up images already look adorable. It looks like a GameCube. It's the big box, but just shorter. And it looks GameCube size, and it's adorable. So I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah. We'll have to see. We have so much to look forward to. This is going to be a really cool year for video games. The delays are unfortunate, but it's making it to where October, November, and December, you're just like locked up in your house and playing brand new video games all day. It's going to be a really good time for gamers. That's my Christmas plans this year, I think. So it's going to be pretty great. All right, guys, go to our polls. It'll be under the link So you know how every week we do a post for the new episode. Underneath that will be a poll. And we'll continue to do the poll for probably about 3 weeks. We'll add them up and see how it goes. Which system we'll be going with first? You're going to be going with the PlayStation 5 either way, probably. I'm up in the air. I'm good for both sides.
Yeah, because for you, this is the first time that you might buy them all. And this is the first time for me that I got to stick with one. Because I keep buying them all for so long, and it's just like, I don't know how long I can hang, though. So it's like a year later, it's like, oh, that Xbox, though.
Well, the thing to me is, like, I've always bought the Xbox just because I'm like, the Xbox has everything I want. And then, like, God of War will come out, I'm like, I probably should buy a PlayStation. But that fades away after a month, and everybody's talking about the next game. And so that is one thing with the PS5. I'm going back to play those 100 from PS4. God of War and, you know, all of them, really. Ghost of Tsushima, I cannot wait for that. That's coming out, and I'm not going to be able to play it, but I'm going to watch all the walkthroughs and be excited about it. So that's coming out this month, too. Guys, good month.
Yeah. A couple days, actually,
So make you guys get your votes in. Most important thing, I mean, reviews are great. Always review us. We always appreciate. We have 3 new reviews. One of them I posted up on Instagram. I'll post the other 2 throughout the week. We really appreciate the reviews. But most important thing, guys, you guys want to support the podcast, you want to join the book club. We should probably name the book club something. What do you want to name it?
Dang, I don't know.
I don't know. I keep thinking of the in-kai reading, but that's from, I don't know. If you want to join the Geekdom book club.
Put a couple of names up on the Twitter and take a poll. There we go.
Oh,
we'll come up with a couple names.
So if you guys want to join the unnamed book club yet, go to audible.com or audibletrial.com/geekfreaks and start your trial. Or there's going to be a link in this podcast on all your platforms, including YouTube. You guys can click that link, sign up for a trial. You helped out the podcast. Our first funding goal is to buy better mics for the guys at home because we don't know when this pandemic's going to be done. And so it looks like we're going to be recording from home for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, that studio behind me is just collecting dust and waiting for some people to sit at it. So that's our first goal, is to buy brand new mics for everybody and get them all set up with like a good audio system. And then from there, we'll go into better cameras. So help us out, guys. Start your trial at audible.com. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us this week. Click all the polls, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.